Three elements where we will improve again P5, both in SDR and on HDR pictures. And basically, you see here the three generations P5. So it all started with, there are of course more ingredients, but 5 blocks of P5, source perfection in the bottom, with noise reduction, impact artifact reduction, and smart bit enhancement. Then detail, then the sharpness part, then the color part, contrast part, and the green one, the motion part. In 2018, we introduced our Generation 2 P5. One big new element came in there with fantastic picture quality, being the perfect natural reality. Now, we're coming into Generation 3 2019. We're going to improve again things. The noise reduction, a big step improvement on noise reduction. Again, in combination, so when we get it cleaner, we can even go further in making it sharper, and we do a next step in the perfect natural reality. These elements were the triggers, the enablers, the technology behind to make sure that we had the right performance in our elements, noise reduction, sharpness, and perfect natural reality. That was for Generation 1 and 2. Now, those elements now play a role in the new thing. So, for instance, if I take detail enhancer, we're going to do more detail protection, more detail restoration, and also, again, more dejagging on diagonal lines, making the sharpness much more prominent. Same thing, new elements play a role and help us in improving perfect natural reality, and the same thing in technologies enabling the better noise reduction. All those elements come from a new chip. I'll come back to that in a second. So we're adding an extra chip on top of our existing P5 chip to have more horsepower, to have more performance. So basically the noise reduction, if that is the incoming signal there where you see the sky very noisy and detailed trees, what we could do with Generation 1 and 2 is we could clean up the sky and keep the sharpness in the trees. And with Generation 3 now, the trees can, at the same time as the sky gets even more clean, the trees can get even more sharp. Same stuff for detail enhancer. We go again one step further in sharpness. And in perfect natural reality, the clouds, the reflections, the brightness, the contrast, the colors, again one step further because of the elements I showed you in the first slide we have that are driving this improved technology. Some of you, when you are reviewing our HDR performance in our 2018 models, made some comments about being too dark, sometimes some not optimal things on our colors, and a bit of banding in our HDR performance. We have solved that. We have 3 improvements, especially on HDR. I recognized that we're sometimes in dark content a bit too dark and hiding some details, but now we have the right level of dark, of blacks, but without losing any detail. Same story on colors. For instance here, and I will show you that scene in reality in my demo. If you look to the top left corner, we lose all the color there, we have some color clipping. I recognize that, but that's all solved now, with thanks also to the new chip that is helping us doing HDR processing in a much different way and keeping all the color there. The same stuff for the banding. You see some banding there, very slight, but yet it is there, so if you strive for perfection, we want to solve that, and with the new stuff we can do. So basically, this is the overview of our steps in P5. It started off with, in 2017, with P5 exclusive chip from Philips doing the 5 areas: source perfection, perfect sharpness, perfect colors, perfect contrast, and perfect generation. In generation 2, we went to a new exclusive chip, so with more horsepower, adding the perfect natural reality. And now in 19, we're adding an extra chip, which is called the P5 Pro chip, which actually is giving you the benefits I just mentioned on SDR, the source, the cleaner picture, sharper picture, brighter picture, and on HDR sources, the no loss in detail in dark, no color clipping, no panning. 20% performance up again, although we're adding quite some horsepower, but we were already quite good with our picture. But still, substantial improvement, visible improvement, which I will show you in a second. The third generation is in all our OLED TVs, so the ones we're launching now, and that we will launch in the second half of the year, will all have that. We have in our range P5 lower in the range, in our LED range, like it's mentioned there, 7000 LED, 8000 LED, like the D1, which was mentioned yesterday. That one has an improved P5 generation 1 actually, but an improved one. I will show you in a second. So we have actually two, in our range, two flavors of P5, the normal P5 or improved P5, and then P5 generation 3 with an additional chip. Okay, Dolby Vision. Don't need to say a lot, I think. We're late with Dolby Vision. There's a good reason for being late with Dolby Vision, because before this moment, the discussion we had with Dolby Vision were not in our favor, in the sense that we would lose all the differentiation on P5 when we were doing a Dolby Vision signal. At IFA last year, we had a good discussion with the guys after so many more previous discussions, and they opened the door and allowed us to do P5 on the Dolby Vision signal, which was for me then the trigger. Okay, now we can go for it. Basically, you know, Dolby Vision has two modes. One is the Dolby Vision dark mode, and the other one is Dolby Vision bright mode. In Dolby Vision dark, like the that's the mode like the director intended, and we will also stick to that. So any brand that does Dolby Vision, their dark mode is like the director intended, is no picture processing, and that's also what we're going to do. No additional P5 processing. But the Dolby Vision bright mode, there we will do P5 on top of Dolby Vision.
Are these selectable picture modes in your?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, the full list of picture modes is there below. On HDR, when you play a Dolby Vision source, you will get Dolby Vision dark and bright. By default, when you start up your Dolby Vision movie, whatever your smart picture mode was, it will jump to default to Dolby Vision bright, which is the mode I like most in Dolby Vision, of course, because it is the one that immediately works with P5. If you don't like that one, you can switch back to Dolby Vision dark. Or if you would say, well, I don't like even Dolby Vision bright, because Dolby Vision bright is only going to do 3 of the 5 elements of P5. It was going to do source perfection, sharpness perfection, and motion perfection. If you want to have the other 2 things, perfect contrast and perfect colors, then you have to switch manually to HDR Vivid, and then you have all 5.
Okay.
But good is already that default-wise, we're jumping to a mode where it's not only Dolby Vision, but it's plus P5. Basically, that's in a nutshell.